Hey guys, Nathan here from FBA Empire. Welcome back to another episode of FBA Empire Weekly. This week I'm going back to the supplier question. I'm going to talk all about how to create a supplier. Before I get into that though, I did want to mention that this will be my last video for a little while out of Canada. The snow behind me will no longer be there as I'm heading to Thailand. Actually, by the time you watch this video, I will likely already be in Chiang Mai. And the reason I wanted to tell you this is I know there's quite a few FBA Empire members in Chiang Mai right now. So when I get there for the month of February in 2017, I am going to try and set up a little informal get-together, drinks and some food. Everybody can meet, we could talk shop, we could bounce questions off each other and just help each other grow. It's going to be really informal, really laid back, so if you're in Chiang Mai for the month of February, let me know, send me a message, leave a comment, and I'll make sure that you're included in this if you're interested, and we could all get together, meet up, and just talk business basically, and help each other grow their business in 2017. Alright, so again, my next video will also be from Chiang Mai, which is nice because the snow is starting to get to me a little bit. This week though, I mentioned in a couple videos ago that I was going to talk about how to choose the best supplier. And that is what this week's video is all about. I really did want to talk about this because it's one of those important things. Once you have 3 or 5 or 5 or more suppliers that you think are really great, you're going to be wondering, well, what do I do with them? I mean, how do I pick, right? Maybe there's 2 or 3 that are really, really good and you want to know, like, how do I pick the best one? So for me, I have about 5 things that I really look at when I'm picking a supplier. So there are 5 big things. And again, there might be more, but these are the 5 that I really focus on. And they're in no particular order, but you want to consider all of them. All right, so the first thing that I look at is the pricing tiers. So make sure you're always asking your suppliers for those pricing tiers. And you want this not just for now, but also into the future. So yes, you want to get a good price on your first order, but your first order is likely small. Maybe 500, 1,000 units. So yeah, you want to make sure you have a good price in that, but you also want to look at these pricing tiers and make sure you have a good price when you're ordering 5,000 units or 3,000 units. Does the price drop? Is there a considerable drop in price? Is something that you want to look for, Maybe the first one, maybe at 500 units, it's still a pretty high price than compared to your competitors. But if you're successful and you get to 1,000 or 2,000 units, that price drops considerably and all of a sudden you're making a lot more profit. This is something to consider. All right, so you need to look at that and make sure you always get the pricing tiers. Don't just email the supplier and ask, what is the price for 1,000 units? Ask them for the pricing tiers because you want to make sure that into the future, you're still going to be making a lot of profit. All right, so that's one of the first things. The second thing I like to look for is lead time. Now, this is how long it takes for them to actually manufacture the product. And again, this is something that plays a huge role as you get set up because when you're trying to plan your inventory, that lead time is critical. So for example, if you have a lead time, if your manufacturer has a lead time of 30 days or 45 days and you're shipping by sea, you're about 2 months out before you get product. So that means you have to predict 2 months in advance when to reorder. And this can get tricky, especially as you're growing. It might be easy to predict if you're getting 10 sales a day every day regularly. Yeah, you can predict, all right, as I have 1,000 units in stock, I'm getting 10 sales a day, so I'll need to reorder on this date. But the problem comes when all of a sudden your numbers spike. All of a sudden you start ranking organically, and now instead of getting 10 sales a day, you're getting 20 or 25 sales a day. And then it just keeps jumping. It gets really hard to predict when to order your inventory, and you don't want to run out of inventory, as you will lose momentum. So having a lead time of 15 days is my ideal supplier. Somewhere around that 2 weeks, it's really ideal to have that. So, if you can't, it's fine if you have a 30-day lead time. 45-day, that for me that's almost a deal breaker for me. I don't like a 45-day lead time because, again, if you're shipping by sea, that is a 2-month time window by the time your product is built to landed in Amazon. And that's a lot to account for. So that one's a tough one for me. And again, you also want to look at this into the future. So their lead time to build 500 products might only be, 30 days or 15 days. What's the lead time for this to build, 5,000 products, 2,000 products? Does it go up? Is there a higher lead time? Does it take them more effort, more time, or do they have the staff to be able to still build more products within that same 15, 30-day time window? Right, so that's something to consider. Again, if you have two suppliers that are identical, that you like both of them, one's a 15-day and one's a 30-day, always choose the 15-day lead time if you can, because it will make a huge difference in the long run. So another thing you really want to look at is the sample. Michael talked about this in last week's video. You really want to talk about the sample. You want to look at the sample. Most of these suppliers, they have one person who are building these samples. That is their job. Their job is to build samples. So these are going to be a lot better quality than the products that are going off of the manufacturing line. So if you have problems with the sample, if the sample isn't quite perfect and like, well, it's just a sample, maybe they just messed up, it'll be fine once we reorder, don't. The sample is likely the best version of their product. So if you have issues with that sample right off the bat, don't go with this supplier, because it's not going to get better on the line. So again, follow what Michael said in last week's video. Have your friends, have them compare the different product samples, see which one's better, see what the flaws are, see what the benefits are, and pick from there. You really want a high quality product. If you want this business to last, if you want to be in this for the long haul, you need a good product. Negative reviews will kill your Amazon business. So make sure you have a good product. Make sure those samples are ideal and perfect. All right. So one of the last things I look at is communication and the responsiveness. So you need to have a good communication. Like any long-lasting relationship, communication is key. So they need to be able to speak decent enough English for you. They need to be able to respond to you in a timely manner. Are they answering your questions? Yes, sometimes you'll send them, 15 questions and they may only answer 10. That's normal, but you shouldn't have to hound after them to get the rest of the answers. If they're not answering your questions, if they're taking a week to respond to you, these are things you need to consider. Because moving forward, what happens when you need something expedited or you have problems with the product? If they're not responding to you, if they're not having good communication with you, if you just feel like they're not really present, they're not really into this, then that's a red flag. Because let's face it, they're trying to get your business. If they're not being responsive now when they're trying to get your business, how do you think they're going to be once they have it? Once you've already paid for that shipment? These are things you have to consider, and you really want to have a rep that's really good at communicating with you, that answers your questions, that is involved. We've had amazing people from China that, I tell you, they're awesome. And it's because they know how to communicate with you. It's because they actually seem to care about your business and their job. They like their job. So that's always key. Try to look at that. And finally, guys, the last thing that I do, and you can't quantitate it. It's not anything special. It's just trust your gut. All right? Your gut instinct is powerful. If there's something nagging at you about this supplier, listen to that. There's a reason that your subconscious or whatever it is telling you that there's something not right about this supplier. So don't just be like, it's fine, I'll ignore it, we're all good. No, listen to that gut instinct, guys, because this is big. And I can't give it any quantitative measure. I can't say, a number of, like on a scale of 1 to 10, what your gut should tell you, but just try to listen to it. If you have a nagging feeling the supplier isn't right, don't ignore that, because 9 times out of 10, your gut is right, and there's something that's not right about that supplier. So never ignore your gut instinct, I guess, is that lesson there. All right, so those are basically the 5 things that I look at when I'm trying to choose between 1 or 2 or 3 suppliers that I really like. And again, you may have all 3 that satisfy those needs, and that's fine. That's absolutely awesome, because then you have backup suppliers. So if something does go wrong, or your contact at one of these places changes and it's a horrible contact, or the product starts to malfunction, you have backup suppliers, and that's never a bad thing. But you want to check through those 5, and if you do, you're likely going to get an amazing supplier who is going to build a long-lasting relationship with you and be your partner in this Amazon FBA or private label journey. All right, so that's what I wanted to talk about this week. Before I sign off, though, I did want to mention that we have a webinar coming up on February 8th. I encourage all of you guys to check it out. It's going to be a great webinar. We're going to talk, we're going to be talking about product selection and how to find the best product. Basically a few myths and a few things that people are doing that they shouldn't be doing. And we're going to get into all that in product selection. So if you're interested, I'll leave the link below. It's fbaempire.com/webinar. And yeah, check it out. Make sure you sign up. Seats will go fast. We can only hold, I think, 1,000. Might even be only 500. So make sure you order, get in there fast, and put your name in, and I'll see you on the 8th. And before that, Mike will probably see you next Thursday with another one of these videos. So have a great week, guys, and we'll see you next time.